Schools are tasked with educating large numbers of children in the millions at a time, and because of that, schools are very compartmentalized. 45 minutes in math, 45 minutes in science, 45 minutes in history, everything completely out of context. You do an assignment, do whatever the teacher says, don't chase your own interest, and at the end of that 45-minute period, the bell rings, you rip up that piece of paper, throw it in the garbage. It's completely meaningless in the short term and in the long term, which is why you hear children say all the time, when am I ever going to use this? And of course, their teachers even know that for the most part, children are generally correct when they make that statement. And when you think about how the education system is structured and how they make goals for children, it's in this very compartmentalized way. So the goals will be something along the line of Jason is going to get 8 of 10 algebra questions right. Jason is going to replace nouns with pronouns correctly on 4 of 5 trials. Whatever it might be, it's very task specific, very compartmentalized. And the result of all of this 45-minute class here, 45-minute class there, with these very specific goals made for each child in many situations, is children. Actually, yes, children is the right word. It should be adults, but 18-year-old children who graduate high school and have no real-world skills. In fact, I would argue that many people graduate college and have no real-world skills. They have degrees. They have a piece of paper that says a business can legally hire them, since 1/3 of American jobs, 33% of American jobs, require government license. Wrap your head around that. But they don't actually have any skills. And a big part of the reason for that is the compartmentalization and the way the goals are set. Because if you look at successful people, and there are so many successful people who don't have college degrees, don't have high school degrees. In fact, I'm probably going to be doing a lot of work highlighting these people both in the present and historically. But if you look at these successful people, they all have something in common, something that Scott Adams describes pretty well in his book, Win Bigly. They all have what Scott describes as talent stacks. Now, they might not all have the same exact skills, but they have a combination of skills that allows them to be successful in whatever field that they pursue. A great way to think about this would be in terms of baseball, right? Baseball teams hire baseball scouts, and these scouts try to identify the most talented young players throughout the world. And the way they categorize these young players are by the number of tools they so-called have. So the top prospects are known as 5-tool prospects. This means a 5-tool prospect in baseball, if a scout comes back to the general manager and says, this guy, this young kid, this 16-year-old kid, he has 5 tools. The general manager knows that this 16-year-old can hit the baseball for power. He could hit it a long way. He could run fast. He could play very well on the defensive side of the ball. He could catch the ball, and he has a laser arm. He could throw the ball very fast. And then the GM would know this is a player that we want. He's likely to be successful because he has these 5 tools. Well, what the scouts are essentially describing are a baseball player who has a talent stack. And the same thing applies to people throughout the world. Scott Adams, the example, or one of the examples he uses, is Steve Jobs. And he says that Steve Jobs, if you study how he operated, he had tremendous creativity. He was a visionary. He was technologically capable. He was able to make technological components on his own. He was a leader. He was able to get people to do what it was that he wanted them to do. And to go along with that, he had many other skills. And this was his talent stack. And you could look at so many different people. And some people have talent stacks that allow them to be successful in a single area. And other people have talent stacks that are transferable. If you take a plumber, for example, who starts their own business. Well, yes, they have to have the capability of doing plumbing, but then they have to have marketing capability, whether that's grassroots, whether that's social media. They have to have some people skills. Otherwise, they won't get good references from other people. They'll say, this guy came to my house, he was very nasty. And all of these are talent stacks. So if schools operated correctly, rather than saying, oh, we're going to learn math, 45 minutes, I want 8 of 10 algebra questions correct, you would just focus on larger, overarching talent stacks. General skills that after 12 years of schooling, I want my child to possess. And within those skills, there could be hands-on work. I want my child to understand basic engineering concepts. I want my child to be able to perform plumbing. I want my child to be able to perform carpentry, to build things with their hands, to fix appliances that are broken. I want my child to understand social media and how social media marketing works. And you could practice that through real-world experience. The objective should be to build a talent stack so that after 12 years or whenever that child is ready and they go into the real world, they are prepared to succeed in whatever it is that they do, so that it's not just a piece of paper they have that says they can be hired. It's a skill set they have that makes it so they don't ever have to be hired because they can figure out how to work and how to make money for themselves in the real world. Parents should be looking to develop talent stacks, and I'm going to be talking a lot more about this in the near future. I have renewed my focus. I am zeroing in on the education system, and if you would please go onto Facebook and follow my new page at Classical Learner. I am going to be doing some very big things that will only benefit you and benefit greater society. But if you are a parent, if you are out there looking to create a curriculum or provide some unschooling and make sure that your child has the skill set needed to succeed in life, not just to get a degree, then you're going to want to follow Classical Learner on Facebook. Please share this link, hit the like button, and as always, we're going to change the world.